We are reading Chapter 6 of Amazing Monty by Johanna Hurwitz, and this is our last and final chapter. Chapter 6, At Last, the Fourth Surprise. All his life, Monty had been the only child in his family. In the Kelly family, there were two children, Arlene and Eileen. Joey had both an older brother and an older sister. Just about every kid in his class had siblings. It was something that kept Monty thinking. He asked Mrs. Meany if she had any brothers or sisters. "I have one of each," she responded. "I'm in the middle." Monty wondered what it would feel like to have another child in the family. He would have to share his parents with the new baby. Most of the time, he looked forward to the big event, but sometimes he worried that the baby was unnecessary. Still, lately there had been so much company at home that Monty didn't have time to think about it. First, his Aunt Naomi came to visit. She was his father's sister. Then Uncle Ben and Aunt Kimberly came. Uncle Ben was his mother's brother. Of course, they had all visited before, but only now did Monty begin to think of these relatives as siblings of his parents. Having a sibling worked out for both his mother and father, he guessed it would work out for him, too. The best company was when his grandparents came. They were his mother's mother and father. They stayed in the guest room, which was going to be made over into a room for the new baby. In fact, his grandfather helped Monty's father paint the room a pale yellow color. Monty helped too. While they worked, Monty's mom went shopping with his grandmother to pick out a new crib and a chest of drawers for the baby. "You won't be able to visit us after our baby comes," Monty worried aloud. "There won't be any place for you to sleep," he told his grandparents. "Of course they'll visit," Monty's mom reassured him. "Maybe the baby will stay with you for a few nights, or maybe we'll get a sofa that opens up and your dad and I will sleep on it while Grandma and Grandpa use our room. We'll work it out." Grandpa went home after a few days, but Grandma stayed. She was going to help Monty's mom with the new baby. The baby was expected any day now, and in the meantime she cooked supper each evening and did the laundry so that Mrs. Morris could take it easy. Grandma went to the supermarket and did the shopping. She vacuumed and straightened up the house. She finished knitting a little sweater with a hood that she'd been making. Everything was ready for the baby. Each afternoon, Monty rushed home from school expecting to hear the big news. Monday, no baby. Tuesday, no baby. Wednesday, no baby. Thursday, no baby. Friday, no baby. On Saturday, Monty expected that the baby would come while he was home. He went outside and played with Joey, but from time to time he ran into the house to check things out. No baby. "Isn't this baby ever going to come?" asked Monty. "The baby will come. Be patient," said his grandmother. "I'm tired of being patient," Monty complained. "Me too," his mother agreed. "Me too," said his father. On Sunday, no baby. By Monday, Monty had given up expecting the baby. There were too many other things to think about. That day at school, his class was looking forward to seeing a magician who was going to give a performance for all the students. But shortly before the magic show was scheduled to begin, a voice came over the loudspeaker in his classroom. "Will Monty Morris please report to the office?" Monty was surprised. His name had never been called before. Once Cora Rose was called when her mom came to take her to the dentist. And once Joey was called because his mom was taking one of the family dogs to a vet and no one would be home for Joey when school let out. Monty didn't have a dentist appointment or a dog, so he worried a little as he hurried to the office. To his surprise, his grandmother was standing there waiting for him. She had a big smile on her face and she said, "Congratulations! You are a big brother. You have a baby sister." "I do?" Monty asked with surprise. Somehow, he'd forgotten all about the new baby today. Then he realized what else his grandmother had said. A sister. He'd been certain that he was going to have a brother. "When was she born?" he asked. "Right after you left for school. Your mother could tell the baby was getting ready to be born, so I drove her to the hospital and your father met us there. And by the time you were eating lunch here at school, you had a sister." Mrs. Remsen, the secretary, came out from behind her desk. "Congratulations, Monty," she said, giving him a high five. "You're a big brother now." "Come on," said Monty's grandmother. "I'm going to take you to see your mom and the baby." "Now? Right now?" asked Monty. "It's okay," said Mrs. Remsen. "You can miss a little school. This is a special occasion after all." Monty followed his grandmother out of the school building. Suddenly he thought of something. "What is my sister's name?" "Your parents have decided to call her Amanda Lee," said his grandmother as they got into the car. Monty thought for a moment and shook his head. "That's too long. You can call her Amanda Lee," he said, "but I'm going to call her Mandy." "It is a long name," his grandmother agreed. "I have a feeling that we'll all be calling her Mandy before long." "You're going the wrong way," Monty said to his grandmother as she turned the corner. "Our house is down the other street." "We're going to the hospital. That's where your mom and Mandy are. They won't be coming home until tomorrow." Monty made a face. "I don't really like going to the hospital," he said. "I can wait until tomorrow to see them." "Don't be silly," said his grandmother. "You must be curious to see your new sister. And what about seeing your mom?" "I've been to the hospital 3 times already," Monty replied. "Twice I went in an ambulance, and once Dad drove me. It was when I had bad asthma attacks, so I'd rather go home now, especially since I feel all right." "I'm glad you're feeling okay," Grandma said. "But actually, you've been to the hospital 4 times. "No," said Monty, shaking his head. "I remember. I only had to go 3 times. 4, his grandmother insisted. She started laughing. "You forgot to count when you were born." Monty laughed. "I didn't forget," he said. "I can't remember that far back." "This will be your 5th visit, and let's hope all your future visits will be happy ones like this," Grandma said. "All right," Monty agreed. "Let's go." And just a few minutes later, Monty got his first look at his sister Mandy. She was tiny and bald and wrinkled and red. "Isn't she beautiful?" his mother asked him. Monty didn't want to hurt his mother's feelings, so he nodded. But his grandma bent down and whispered, "You'll see. In a few days, she will be very beautiful. I promise. It's like magic." Magic. Monty suddenly remembered the magic show at school that he had missed, but the truth was, he didn't care. It was a different kind of magic to have a new baby when yesterday she didn't exist at all. Now he had a sibling and he was a big brother. It was just amazing. And that is the end of Amazing Monty, my friends. We will start a new chapter book tomorrow, so tune in for that one.